Are you serious? Are you serious? 8,000 gallons of jet fuel has spilled into an Indiana river in a little town called Decatur, Indiana. Now that town's about 100 miles from where I'm sitting, and this is strange. You may know where Indianapolis is. It's about 110 miles north of Indianapolis, northeast, about 30 miles south of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Here's what's going on, folks. A Texas company says one of its pipelines has spilled more than 8,000 gallons of jet fuel into the river in northeastern Indiana town of Decatur, Indiana. The Houston-based Buckeye Pipeline says that it immediately shut down the line Friday night. This happened Friday night when it detected a pressure problem. The fuel spilled into the St. Mary's River there in Decatur, Indiana, which is a community of about 9,500 people, roughly 100 miles northeast of Indianapolis. Local officials say the booms were placed in the river to contain the fuel, which has been vacuumed off the water's surface. But according to reports, the mayor, Kenneth L. Meyer, says the cleanup could still take weeks. And the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency says it is monitoring the air in the neighborhoods, all the businesses near the river, and the EPA said it is also monitoring the water quality at several locations downstream. There are people concerned about what is taking place here because 8,000 gallons, guys, flowing into a fast-moving river. I don't see how they had time to really contain it. How much of this gallons of this jet fuel actually floated on down the river past the booms? Well, we know this. There's some serious concerns right now over what took place there. And these types of spills happen all the time and are rarely reported. I mean, nobody even knows about this. I actually found this. Well, actually, Heidi found this article doing some of her research. I'm getting ready to do a Patreon video, which has nothing to do with this this jet fuel in the Indiana River. But it's very, very disturbing that this is going on and yet never gets reported. I mean, nobody knows. Actually, this was the one group that was actually reporting on this had 15 views. What? In 2 days. So a lot of people never know what goes on in all kinds of environmental issues. But pray for the people of Decatur, Illinois, because small town, 9,000 people, who's really checking the water? I mean, seriously, who's really checking the water? And, but it's very evident by what happened up there in Flint, Michigan, with that lead poisoning up there and all that contaminated water. And now it's got copper in the water, lead in the water. I mean, it just doesn't end. And people are sick, and there's been learning disabilities for the children. There's all kinds of, there's body parts now in the water treatment plant. So there's all these things seem to just be happening. I mean, can this just really be real? Are you serious? Anyway, pray for the people of Decatur, Indiana. I appreciate the fact, though, that Buckeye Pipeline is working on the cleanup and got on it, and are not trying to say they didn't do it. It's an accident. They admit it, and they're getting on it, and that's good. So let's pray for the people of the community that there be no harm there. But it is a very dangerous situation in Decatur, Indiana. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. We're certainly living in the last days. Are you saved?